Productivity Triad. This is your one-stop shop to productivity for yourself now, tomorrow, and 5 years down the line. This one protocol, which includes 3 parts, plan, prepare, protocol, will change your productivity and your life forever. In today's video, I'm going to cover all 3 parts and go into deep detail on how you can utilize them and make them effective for yourself and your work. Section number 1, plan. This planning stage has a few criteria that you need to include. You need to plan for many things in this section. Your duration, so the time block of your work and how long this will be. It's suggested that 90 minutes is the perfect cycle for brains, so keep this in mind when you're planning. The intensity, by this I mean the difficulty. This is important because you need to align it to different parts of the day, because midday, maybe you're feeling sluggish, evening, maybe that's your prime time as it is mine right now. So understanding the intensity and the difficulty of the work will be essential for you planning when to do the work. Importantly, the tasks and what type of task you're doing. Again, if you're doing a creative task, then maybe it'll be more inclined to do it in the evening when you're feeling fatigued and tired from the day. This will make it easier on your brain, whereas if you're doing a more intellectually written task, then as soon as you wake up, that'll be your prime time to get going because your brain will be fresh, carb-free, and in general, ready straight away. Lastly, you need to have a clear outline of your procedure for failure. How many tasks you're allowing yourself to fail, because inevitably there will be days where you will have failure. If you're allowing yourself say 20% failure and you have 10 tasks, 2 tasks you're automatically declaring as fail. If you complete all 10, that's an optimal day of productive work. However, at least you know you're not going to beat yourself up after failing those 2. This is important for your own mental health, as consistency is more important than perfection. Perfection is a myth in productivity, as everyone has the days where they don't do the productive work they're supposed to, and by focusing only on having 10 with no procedure for failure will most likely lead you to burning out and having less consistency in the long run. The next section of this triad of productivity is the prepare section. This is the predicate of the protocol. In this section, we're going to be talking about your setup. Make sure you have a clean desk or workspace, no distractions, nothing crazy, and no mess that's going to clutter your work and clutter your mind while you try and work. Next, you need to prepare your nutrition via your body. Have you drunk enough? Have you eaten the right food, specifically no carbs before your intense work? This will cloud your mind and leave you unable to complete informed sentences if you have to do a speaking video like this. Generally, fasting works really well for me if I'm trying to complete work, as I have a primitive urge to get the work done as effectively as possible to gain your next meal. What drinks you're consuming, whether this be caffeinated beverages like coffee, which will help you maybe lock in on your work as long as it's 90 minutes after your waking time, or whether it's just a base water. How well you slept, make sure you're getting 7 to 8 to 9 hours before, which will give you optimal amount of sleep for your work. If you haven't got these 7, 8, 9 hours, don't stress. Maybe do some non-sleep deep rest. This protocol will allow you to engage some vigor into your body and maybe rejuvenate the lack of sleep that you've had. Next, your equipment, whether you've got pens, paper, computer, websites open like I have now, or anything that you need to complete the work task that you've got set out. Next, a timer and alarm, either one or all. This is quite self-explanatory, but you need to know how long you're into your work block and have specific set alarms to take you out of the trance of the work. Next, audio, whether this is binaural beats, motivational audios as everyone finds themselves using now and again, or some classical music to keep your head thought-free as you go into a deep flow state of productive work. Lastly, this is quite a niche tip here, but your eye level to the computer screen. If you're working on a monitor, it's suggested that you have the monitor raised above eye level. This naturally makes you look up slightly, which limits the amount of eyelid exposure you have over your eyes, and this engages not only a primitive eye reflex, which I can't remember the scientific name for, but naturally your eyes are wider and this makes you more alert, allowing you to be more productive. Lastly, in this video, we're going to be talking about the final section. This is the protocol. Simply in this section, I'm going to keep it science-free. Just lock in, do the work, and get it done in the time period you said you're going to do it. I'm not going to cloud this section with any guru productivity tips. You just need to have the motivation, the discipline, and the drive to do your productive work. If you don't have fun with it, maybe swap it, maybe try something different, because in general, if your work is fun and you find it progressing you while you're maintaining this good mental health, then most likely it will be easier to maintain consistency now, tomorrow, and 5 years down the line. Have no distractions, have a flow state, and do the work. Bonus tip, and I'll actually show you mine here. Have a checklist. So me personally, I have a habit tracking checklist. All of the work I do here, the specific non-negotiable productive tasks of the day, I have rolling down here, and once I've completed them, cross them off. The X's you're seeing are, for me, not going to the gym, because I can't drive. Create a habit tracker or checklist like this for yourself, and I'm sure you'll see the results of this simple productivity tip. That was the Triad of Productivity, and that was your final video you'll need to start your productive journey. Don't overcomplicate things, just focus on each section of this triad, and I'm sure you'll see the results. If you're looking to work with me one-on-one, gain more value from me based on your specific scenario, then please click the top link in the description for a free one-on-one meeting where we can discuss what I'll go through in the next 21 days you work with me.